Good day, everyone. Welcome to Tutors. So we're going to talk about the fluvial depositional environment, and in this fluvial environment, um, anytime you hear the word fluvial, the next thing that comes to your mind is river, right? River, and most of the depositional environment here, which we're going to talk about, the main one we're going to talk about is the braided deposits and also the meandering deposits, fair deposits, and the meandering river deposits, managed depositional environment. Okay. So now, how does the river behave? How does the river behave? You have the early stage, the youthful stage, the mature stage. Now, the behavior of this river determines the kind of deposit they form. They are kind of mid stage. I call this youthful mid stage, and I call this mature stage. The mature stage is one that forms the meandering, and the mid stage forms the braided deposit. The braided deposit. Now, mature stage, or even you can even call it the old stage. Now, the early stage of the river is characterized by for the early stage characterized by high velocity. The early stage characterized by high velocity, which means the speed is very fast. Speed of river is very fast, really very fast, and it carries the water volume is very much. Water volume is high also. It has a very low sinuosity. What does it mean by sinuosity? Sinuosity is talking about how it bends, the ability to bend. So this kind of river stage is kind of straight, kind of straight. So it moves straight. It's not doesn't bend. Okay, very straightforward river. It's characterized by a single channel. By what? A single channel. So you can tell you that what are the characteristics or describe the early stage of the river? So high velocity, water volume is high, low sinuosity, single channel. Those should come to your mind. Another thing is about the high slope. So they are kind of influenced by even the slope. So imagine water flowing on a place that is kind of slope. It will be very fast, right? And water that is moving on somewhere that is straight, like horizontal. A slope will be influenced by the slope, right? Water that is moving around the slope, along this slope here, will be influenced by the terrain there. So they formed in a the kind of thing that is formed of a V-shaped valley, a V-shaped a V-shaped valley. Okay, V-shaped valley. So there are some words that we'll be using in this, even explaining even the fishing model of braided deposit and even meandering deposit. And I would like to just talk on them briefly. Okay, so for example, if this is a river channel, the outer part of the river channel, is known as what? The flood plain. It's known as what? The flood plain. And this flood plain consists of mud. What did I say? Consists of what? Mud or clay. Okay. So let me just give you a kind of sample. You know that if rain falls, right? If rain falls, and you can see if rain falls very well, right? And you see the flood that's moving, but at the edge of those flood, you'll be seeing mud. Hmm? Mud, especially like in a normal environment. When you're even going to like the beach setting and all this stuff, yeah, you see some kind of mud, the floor, or in a kind of environment where the road is not as tarred, as one you have in Unilag, for example. So this kind of area, the floodplain, which is outer of the channel, is more of mud. Okay, you see mud, and inner of this channel we have the deepest part of the channel, and what is in this deepest part of the channel are they are quartz grained. They are very big grains, quartz grains. Okay, they are quartz grains. So now those that's a kind of summary of what happens in the mud plane. Okay, in the flood plain, I say mud plane, flood plain, for example. Good. So that takes us into braided river deposits, the braided river.